Welcome back to the Pop Revolution Show, the show where we make a new song every month and show you how we did it from beginning to end, writing all the way to production. I'm your host, Nathan Larsen, and I am just chomping at the bit to get started on this first episode on our newest tune, Layers. And today we're talking about how a good song just isn't enough. Hit it.
Set my heart in ways that were clearer, so you continue to come nearer. And all this time I still got this fear of seeing what you see clearly. You say I'm not defined by what came my way. You help me to get stronger every day. No one voice comes out of the fray.
If you have not yet seen the music video or heard the tune, make sure to check that out. We'll have a link for you at the end of this video. It's also in the description below. Writing a catchy tune is not insanely hard. Some of the most catchy music I've ever written came to me very quickly, and then, for some reason, the not so good music has always taken me way longer. I'm not really sure why. But here's the deal, a good song just isn't enough to make something that will actually come across as professional. Of course, that's not to say a simple approach with just acoustic guitar and voice can't or won't work. I've actually heard plenty of music that has been really well served by that approach, but the reality is that a very good portion of the music we listen to is not just acoustic guitar and voice. And if you watch our show, it's probably because you are trying to find ways to take your music beyond that. Layers is a catchy tune and there were lots of directions we could have gone with it, but I'll tell you what, if my collaborator Brittany and I had taken a much more simplified approach, it probably would not have been nearly as effective. That's not to say we took a complicated approach either. There are two principles here I really want to talk about, arranging and producing. And what you hear in the music video is a fully produced track that has gone through 3 different stages in the full production process, 2 of which are arranging and producing. The first is songwriting. Naturally, this is where you would write the song. Then comes arranging. Now, the lines between arranging and producing are becoming steadily more blurred, but the way I see it is that arranging is the stage where you decide what the song's overall direction is going to be from the perspective of harmony, instrumentation, and moving around pieces of the song that was made itself. Producing really takes over from where arranging is left off and is the process of creating what you actually hear in the recording. For me, these 3 stages don't have to happen chronologically. Brittany and I only had a verse and chorus before I started producing and shaping what this song was actually going to sound like. We were working out the vibe and the overall tone of the song, which can be seen as a combination of arranging and producing since we were doing all of that within my DAW. For you, it'll take finding the balance between the 3 stages and figuring out what each song really needs and in what order will work best for you in that song. I don't always work out of order. When I first started, I would write the entire song and really have a great idea of the arrangement before I ever started producing. But in time, I began working differently, and I'm sure that a year from now, I'll probably have even more ways about going about it. Don't be afraid to change and don't be afraid of experimentation. The worst that can happen is an unsuccessful song, which, once you've been around long enough, you'll realize that those make up a majority of the work you've made. I've made hundreds of tunes that didn't make the cut, but it's really about pressing forward and continuing to create. And with that said, I found that practice really does make it easier to put out better work. And by practice, I mean writing as much as possible. If you're just getting started, just get to work and allow yourself to make mistakes so that you can learn from them. Not saying that you should just try to make crappy music, by the way. Asking lots of questions about what you are hoping to accomplish, in my mind, is a great way to tackle making a good song that can make the cut and sound professional. Questions like, how can I make my vocal more prominent? Why does this chorus sound so muddy? Why is my verse sounding thin? Does that chord really work with the melody the way that I want it to? Should I add a synth pad for depth? I think you get the point. Asking questions lead to finding solutions. I really see taking a good song and turning it into a great song as a problem. Not a problem like the sink overflowing, but a problem like a math equation. It needs to be solved in order for it to be rendered functional. These are the types of questions I ask myself after I have a song written, and Layers was no exception. Brittany and I threw out tons of questions related to what we wanted to accomplish. Those questions are the starting point to finding the solutions. No matter how good your song is, if it isn't arranged and produced properly, it's very likely that it'll flop. The first record I ever made literally took me over 5 years to make, and it wasn't because the songs were bad. In fact, the songs were all really good. But the problem was that I wasn't equipped to take those good songs and make them great by arranging and producing them properly. And by equipped, I don't mean gear, I mean knowledge and experience. It doesn't matter if you're using a $100 mic and audio interface or using GarageBand. That's where I started, and I can tell you that my gear was the smallest limitation in the grand scheme of things. My biggest limitation was what I didn't have up here. I had the songs, but I didn't have the knowledge and experience. I think a lot of you probably have good songs, but need to work out the details of how to take a good song and turn it into something great. And that is what we're all about here at the Pop Revolution. Well, we're just getting started here on this tune, and I can't wait to jump into showing you all sorts of examples and talking about how we took this song from lyrics in a notebook to a song in a cool music video. All of that right here on the Pop Revolution. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope it sparked your imagination and helped show you that a good song just isn't enough. You can check out our very first series right here, and you can watch the Layers music video right here. And of course, we would love it if you would subscribe right here so you can keep up with us as we continue showing you how to be a better artist. Feel free to leave any questions or comments you have below, and have yourself a great day, wherever you may be.